The city of Lloydminster is advising motorists of construction that could impact your commute. The 50th Avenue Railway crossing will be closed Sunday at 5 a.m. and won't reopen until 5 p.m. the following Monday, weather permitting. The closure will be in place while CN completes repairs on the rail line on 50th Avenue between 51st Street and 52nd Street. The city says there will be no access to through traffic during the closure. Motorists should follow marked detour signs and drive cautiously through the construction zones. City Council will be entering into a seamless levy agreement with the Lloydminster Public School Division and the Lloydminster Roman Catholic Separate School Division. Here's our Sarah Baker with more.
The seamless levy is an agreement unique to Lloydminster, since Lloydminster is a community within two provinces which have different educational requirements. Councillors thought this levy was a good solution.
One of the challenges in Lloydminster is that we have two educational systems that our Lloyd Public and Lloyd Catholic systems have to deal with. One is from Alberta and one's from Saskatchewan. We tend to follow a bit of both. And in the end, what we see is that each province has a list of mandated programs that they're required to deliver that are not exactly the same. And so this levy allows parents and families who live in Lloydminster not to choose where they live in the city in order to access those services.
Other councillors questioned what happens if things change in regards to programs and funding within the 4-year timeline of the agreement.
It's just more of a question of the mechanisms in the agreement and to see whether or not there would be any changing to the funding formula if either provincial government decide to fund different new programs or to not fund programs anymore, therefore it not funded by either side of the border. And at the end of the day, what administration told us is that there are no mechanisms at this time to deal with those.
For the city of Lloydminster, this is not the first time an agreement like this has been done. However, the new agreement will allow more flexibility with the ability to amend it if needed.
City Council in 2020 decided to terminate that agreement because that was the only option we had. There was not an ability to rewrite the agreement or make amendments. So we sat down with the school boards through the city administration and discussed a new agreement, as you saw, that was brought forward today that does allow for revision and extension from that perspective.
Funding from the new agreement will go towards funding part-time pre-kindergarten, driver training, First Nations programming, ESL, and the overage program. Sarah Baker, Primetime Local News.
The Saskatchewan Provincial Youth Council is welcoming back students for the year, and 12 bright students were selected to become members. One local girl has made it on the council and now is representing Holy Rosary High School and the Lloydminster Catholic School Division. Our Shelby Clark has more in the first Beyond the Classroom of the new school year.
Grade 10 student Faber Anakutake has been selected to join the Youth Council. This is the second student to make it on the Provincial Youth Council from Holy Rosary High School. Staff at the school and LCSD are proud to see another one of their students reach this accomplishment.
Favor's a great candidate for this role because she displays leadership in our school through our student-led council and through our extracurricular programs. She's very active in with student-led council with working with other students and staff, and then she's also on our extracurricular sports teams of basketball and track and field, and she helps working with her teammates and with the coaches.
It's amazing for a school like this to be able to reach out across the province and share success, stories of success, but also examples of success like Faber.
Members of the council will be working with Education Minister Dustin Duncan to provide advice and insight on opportunities for programs and educational policies. She will be able to voice her opinion and help with other students in the province.
I was quite shocked, out of the whole school, being picked as the one person to represent Holy Rosary at the Youth Council, but it was an honor to take it, to be able to help the school system with the education.
Faber's honored to receive this opportunity and says it feels good to make a positive impact with her school's education. There's no specific plan yet with the council just beginning, but Faber knows her, along with the other council members, will come up with great ideas. With this honor, she also hopes to inspire other students and send out a message.
I would tell them, it just takes determination and commitment, really striving for what you know you want to get what you want.
And that's it in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
At Lakeland College, our students go beyond the classroom for immersive, hands-on learning experiences. It's about experiencing the real world Because the real world doesn't wait, and neither do we.
Well, with the start of the fall season fast approaching, that means hockey season is starting up for the Lloydminster PWM Steelers. The Steelers' regular season schedule was released recently, which will see them play 30 games this year. Half of those games will be taking place at their home barn at the Service Sports Center. The Steelers will start off the regular season with four-game homestand beginning on October the 1st. You can head on over to their website below to see the team's full schedule. We wish them the best of luck as they start their season here in the next couple of weeks. Now it's time to check in again with Shelby Clark, who has another look at your evening weather forecast.
Thank you once again there, JCS. Now taking another extended look at your weather forecast, we will be looking at our central zone of our provinces here to kind of start things off. And as you can see, looking a lot more cooled down from what we were looking at yesterday. We kind of expected to be warmed up, especially here in the border city, which we have been, but most other spots are actually cooling down quite a bit. Seeing around 15 to 17 degrees in most areas here. Rocky Mountain House is just at 18, while over in Jasper, they are seeing the warmest temperature at 22. And down in Red Deer, they're just hitting that 20-degree mark. And switching over to our Saskatchewan side here, they aren't struggling too much. They are looking a lot warmer than what we are seeing on our Alberta side. So Saskatchewan definitely is seeing quite a nice day for today in most areas. Melfort is just at 29, while it's 25 up in Meadow Lake. The rest are seeing that 30-degree mark, surprisingly, compared to what we are looking at not only here in the border city, but also on our Alberta side here in the central zone. 30 for North Battleford and Prince Albert, while Saskatoon has reached 33. So some spots are seeing that heat warning in effect right now. Switching over to our northern zone here, they are looking a little bit cool down as well, kind of matching with us in our central area. 16 to around 19 degrees as most spots are looking at over on this end. La Loche and Buffalo Narrows both at that 15 mark, while we go a bit lower. La Ronge and Flin Flon are seeing the warmest with that 21 and 23. And going back to our Alberta side here, they are looking a lot more cooled down as well, like what we are seeing in our central area. 14 degrees up in High Level and Fort Chipewyan. So we head more into our fall season. We are seeing these temperatures kind of slowly make their way back into our provinces here. Fort McMurray's at 15, while there's 18 and 19 in the rest over on this end. And going over to our southern zone, they aren't looking too cool whatsoever. Medicine Hat and Lethbridge especially past that 30-degree mark, 32 and 35. So seeing that heat warning in effect for sure. Medicine Hat is now continuing, still that really hot, warm heat wave streak that they have been seeing for the past few weeks. 25 up in Calgary, while Banff is just at 22, and Coronation is slightly in the middle there at 23. And going over to our Saskatchewan side for this area, yes, they are seeing the warmest conditions that we have been seeing. 36 for Swift Current and Moose Jaw, so definitely see that heat warning in effect right now. They are seeing an extreme heat warning, so please be safe if you're in those areas. 33, 34 for Regina and Kindersley, while Estevan is just past that 30 mark, and up in Yorkton, they're at 28 degrees. So Yorkton's looking slightly cooled down compared to the rest. But now going back across the region, seeing what we will expect throughout our evening and throughout the night. We will be looking at those single-digit temperatures once again. That's expected throughout the evening. Most spots across the region. Most spots will be looking at that low of 5 to 6 degrees. Unity, Pearson, and Bonnie will be looking across of 10 degrees throughout the evening, with a high chance of that precipitation later on. And then seeing some cooler days coming up and Friday, and seeing a nice warm day at 24. And ending off with another look at one of your photo submissions. They could have Kimberly for this beautiful shot of that lake. That's all I have for now. Our Jace Mackle Harbor News coming up after the break.
Tracy, thank you so much for being here today to talk about the Diabetes Prevention App program that will be piloted in Alberta. So when does the pilot for the program start?
We started recruiting patients back in February of this year, And so the project is underway, and we'll be recruiting and following patients for the next year.
So what does it mean for the pilot to be done in Alberta?
Well, what we'd like to do is what we've partnered with Alberta Blue Cross and our primary care networks and physicians to test a mobile app within Alberta that allows us to identify patients who are pre-diabetic but at risk for diabetes, and put them on this prevention program that helps them with healthy eating, exercise, and general coaching to support their lifestyle changes. So we believe that the app will have an impact for Albertans, but in keeping with trying to make sure that it does work, we're doing a one-year pilot to test the application, recruit a significant number of patients, and then follow them out for a full year to see if the lifestyle changes work, and if they do, how, what are the results that we saw, and then from a sustainability, do the individuals that use the app and the health coaches, does it improve their quality of life? Do they have weight loss? Have they increased their exercise? Are they making better choices around healthy foods, etc.?
So how can someone join to be part of the pilot program, or are those people already selected?
No, people can join. We have been working with the primary care networks across Alberta. Our selection criteria is to choose those patients through their family doctors who have a high A1C, or their blood sugar levels are higher than normal, and that they aren't currently diagnosed as a diabetic. If they are willing and interested, their family doc can refer them, and then we would register and enroll them in the program.
So how will the app help to prevent type 2 diabetes?
Well, in the work that we have done, when we were working with a company that has a proven product. It was approved by the CDC, and the reason that they have had success is the app is very, you don't have to call somebody. You get immediate feedback from the health coaches on the app. You can get your questions answered in real time. So people who are really interested in, let's say, wanting to make sure that the food that they have chosen for dinner, they can take a picture of their meal, and the app will give them feedback on, that's a good selection of protein, or you might have a little bit too much carb. But it gives people that just-in-time feedback. They can put in their exercise and their weight, and the coaches can actually help answer questions and just support that lifestyle change without having to book an appointment with a nutritionist, a family doctor, or a pharmacist or somebody else, because the app is, on your phone, and you can use it, 24/7.
How long will the pilot process last?
Well, the pilot started in January, and we will be, and we started recruiting people last February, so just this early February. So the pilot will actually go until next year. And our goal is to get about 500 Albertans on the app, and then follow them longitudinally for a full year.
Thank you again so much for joining us today.
You bet.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Today we have Lisa Murphy, the Executive Director of the Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder Association of the Lakeland area. And she is here today to talk to us about the FASD Day, which is taking place this Friday, and the events they are running. So thank you so much for being with us today, Lisa.
Thank you.
And so, Lisa, tell me a little bit more about what exactly your association does in terms of fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, and how it raises awareness just on the general daily throughout the year.
So the Lakeland Center for FASD has been providing FASD supports to the Lakeland region for 22 years. Our supports include prevention of FASD, diagnosis, and intervention services. We envision a region with no new FASD births and where currently affected individuals are well supported. FASD is a lifelong disability that affects the brain and body of people who are exposed to alcohol in the womb. And each person with FASD has both strengths and challenges, and will need special supports to help them succeed with many different parts of their lives their daily lives. And so the Lakeland Center is here to do that.
And so, Lisa, FASD Awareness Day, as I mentioned, is this Friday. What events are you guys going to be running, and where over on Friday, as well as throughout the weekend?
So we have events happening across the Lakeland region. In fact, International FASD Day is quite a big event, and so there are events happening all over the province, all over the country. In the Lakeland region specifically, in Cold Lake, at our main office, we will be having a hot dog barbecue and a mocktail challenge that we do annually. In Bonnyville and St. Paul, we have hot dog barbecues as well as some mocktails that will be offered. And in Lakeland, we're doing something a little bit different this year, and we will be doing an awareness walk. Again, we're still offering mocktails as an alternative drink to alcohol. And all of our activities will start about 11 o'clock in the morning. There's also various activities happening within the other communities. And we are trying to, we'll have staff out there supporting the other initiatives throughout the region. So on many of the Métis settlements, as well as First Nations communities in our region. And so we'll be out there to support them.
How long have you guys been doing active events on International FASD Day?
So International FASD Day began in 1999, and we've actually been out there with that awareness piece every year since our inception. So I would say this is probably this would be our 22nd year.
Anybody from the Lakeland area is looking to help is there ways for people to donate to FASD prevention and or help volunteer with you guys? How would they go about, what avenues should they go through in order to do such a thing?
You can reach out to us in any way. Please give us a call or find us on Facebook. We are always happy to accept donations and looking for volunteers. It's very important that we have community helping. This is not support that we can do on our own. We do this with the support of our communities as well.
All right, thank you so much, Lisa, for all the information. We hope that you guys have an excellent day this Friday, celebrating and helping prevent FASD throughout not only the Lakeland area, but throughout all of Alberta and Canada.
Thank you, and I hope to see everybody at our different events. And thank you for everything.
And enough with a quick look at your 7-day forecast. We will be seeing some cool days coming up with Thursday, Friday at 16. But don't worry, we'll be warming up for the weekend at 24 and 26. Seeing a lot more sunnier days for the weekend. Then into next week, we'll be starting off strong with that 24 next Monday with a mixture of some sun and cloud. The next Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be cooling down once again as we head more into the fall season with that high of 16 and that high of 18.
All right, thank you so much for that, Shelby. It's nice to see that once we get through this kind of colder and wetter end this week, we'll be seeing a nice weekend heading into a decent next week. Thanks for that, and thank you for joining us for our first hour of Primetime Local News. If you miss anything, stick around. Our second hour continues next.